Pulitzer Prize winner bestsellers, and follow-up seasons to today's most groundbreaking, binge-worthy shows, and more. Make up today's lineup. We're diving into world wars. Wars with monsters, samurais, Midwest USA, and ex-boyfriends. Welcome to Cnext. Today, we're ranking the top 10 best TV shows of 2023, the November edition. Get your popcorn ready, set, and let's go.
You have murder in your eyes. He deserves to die.
Number 10, All the Light We Cannot See.
There was this voice I listened to on the radio, and I will never know who she is.
In a lineup of incredible shows, All the Light We Cannot See stands out, not just for its emotion-provoking, intense, and packed content, but for the fact that it's based on Anthony Doerr's Pulitzer Prize-winning, best-selling novel by the same name. Follow the dual stories of Marie-Laure Leblanc, a French teenager who's blind, and the daughter of Danielle Leblanc, a locksmith at the Museum of Natural History in Paris, and the story of Werner Fennig, a German soldier in the midst of World War II. Both desperately cling to keep their hope and inherent goodness in a world that tries to tear it from them. And, spoiler alert, the series veers off from the novel's ending.
I will find your daughter. If you fail, she will die first.
Number 9, The Crown, Season 6.
The Crown doesn't ask existential questions of itself.
Perhaps it should.
The life and reign of Queen Elizabeth. After the King's demise, who we've always known as Queen Elizabeth takes over the reins of the British monarchy. The 6th season documents the tribulations of the decade from the late 90s to the early 2000s, including young Prince William's budding romance with Kate Middleton. November saw the first 4 episodes, while the remaining 6 are expected to be dropped on December 14th. But those 4 were packed. We're talking about secret nights out, Kate Middleton's runway days, and more scandals.
But what about the life I put aside? The woman I put aside when I became queen?
Number 8, Lawman, Bass Reeves.
You got to the count of 5 to get the hell off my land.
Lady, you got 2 shells in that bird killer.
Then I just shoot you twice, just to be certain.
The underrated, relatively known story of the first ever Black U.S. Marshal Bass Reeves. This incredible series created by Chad Feehan. Get ready to watch Reeves' untold story and how he struggled with the weight of the badge. And believe it or not, Lawman Bass Reeves is a glimpse into an upcoming anthropology series, all about other iconic lawmen and outlaws who impacted history.
I need a man with a good gun and a straight spine. You up for the task?
Number 7, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Hey, wanna go out sometime?
You wanna go on a date with me?
Scott Pilgrim Takes Off pulls off what few did before. It wrangled the entire main cast from the original 2010 film adaptation, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. The 2023 animated series has the original cast, as in Michael Cera, Brie Larson, and Kieran Culkin, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, reprising their iconic roles for a reimagining of the story. After indie rocker Scott Pilgrim falls head over heels for the rainbow-haired girl of his dreams, his life erupts across many a misadventure, job, and encounter with her exes.
The girl of my dreams?
It's time to wake up, dude.
I had a dream about that girl again.
Number 6, A Murder at the End of the World.
Welcome. It's so exciting to see you all here.
No escape.
Emma Corrin stepped out of Princess Diana's shoes and into a Hercule Poirot-esque detectives. A Murder at the End of the World answers the question of what a Gen Zer would look like as an actual detective, and if true crime lovers actually caught a serial killer in their teenage years. Darby Hart is invited by an infamously recluse billionaire and his wife to participate in a dazzling but remote retreat in Iceland. What Hart didn't bargain for was one of the guests to turn up dead. It's not up to her to find the killer before another guest is killed.
We don't know who did this, we don't know why, and we don't know if they are done.
Number 5, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters.
You think that your father was working for them?
This stuff was in a safe.
Who are they? What's Monarch?
With a jostling but welcome slam, Monarch dives right into the action. It's the brutal aftermath of the battle between Godzilla and the Titans, and the crushing realization that monsters are real. Monarch walks in parallel lines and across two timelines. The aftermath of the Godzilla movie that came out in 2014, after the entirety of San Francisco was nearly wiped out when a couple of Goliaths and a strike team fought it out. The second timeline is a series of flashbacks to the 1950s. The stories uncover two siblings' journey to their family connection to the opaque organization known as Monarch.
You knew these things existed.
This is your legacy.
Number 4 for All Mankind, Season 4.
What's happened?
Something incredible.
This asteroid, it could change everything for people back home.
In case you missed the first 3 excellent seasons of For All Mankind, it explores what would have happened if the Soviets had won the space race, and if the race had never stopped. The first seasons took us from characters in their 20s throughout the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. The last season brought the US, Russia, and a North Korean mission all the way to the Red Planet itself, Elon Musk's cure-all, Mars. Season 4 leaps another decade. Our protagonist, the ever-aging Ed, is in his 50s and hanging on to his glory days as a barrier-breaking astronaut. What's life on Mars like? Season 4 shows and tells.
Building a new world for our future.
You ready to make history? Always, my friend.
Number 3, Blue Eye Samurai.
Put down that toy and draw your sword.
But then you'll die.
Creator Amber Noizumi called the series Kill Bill meets Yentl. Set in 17th century Edo period Japan, when Japan's borders were closed to the outside world, Mizu embarks on a quest for revenge on her birth father, whom she inherited the same eyes she has to hide, as well as her gender. Mizu has a list of 4 men to hunt down. Joining her in this tale of beautifully, and we mean beautifully, drawn animation are soba maker Ringo, a rivaling arrogant samurai called Taigen, and Taigen's Berthold, Princess Akemi.
No one man can defeat an army, but one creature can.
Number 2, Invincible, Season 2.
We all remember that day. For some, the pain will never fade.
In a multiverse of Marvel and DC shows, Amazon Prime's animated Invincible has been hailed as one of, if not the, best superhero shows of the year, never mind the month. All the while, only half a season has been dropped. The second half of Season 2 will resume in early 2024. So what do we have? 17-year-old Mark Grayson, whose father is Omni-Man, his planet's most beloved and powerful superhero. Except as we've seen Mark come into his own, he discovers that Omni-Man is more ominous and mercurial than people think. In this new half-season, new villains are uncloaked, fathers and sons are ruined, and planet Earth faces a new, insurmountable threat.
For what comes next?
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Before we reveal our first pick, let's look at some honorable mentions. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Curse.
Why did you snatch back the money? Why didn't you just give her the 100?
I was gonna buy 6 of them for $20.
I curse you.
Squid Game, The Challenge.
Oh my God.
Let the game begin.
Doctor Who, 2023 specials.
I don't know if I can save your life this time.
The Buccaneers.
Girls, here is to marriages, men, parties.
Not particularly in that order.
A Nearly Normal Family.
Fröken Sandell.
Jag tyckte om honom.
Number 1, Fargo, Season 5.
I am so sorry for biting you boys. It's just if you knew the week I'm having.
A plethora of characters deal with a litany of crimes across different time periods, with the common denominator being the Midwest, US of A, in the 5th season of this black comedy. Juno Temple and John Hamm restrapped their boots after a 3-year break since the last season, which was set in the 1950s. In this season, Juno's housewife Dot is less a damsel in distress, and John Hamm's Roy Tillman sheriff is more of a hazard with a grudge. Dot's past comes back to bitterly haunt her. With Tillman on her tail, her present begins to unravel.
Never do you mention she is a tiger.
And those are the top 10 best TV shows of 2023 November. What did you think? Did we miss one of your favorites? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell below to be notified of new content. Thanks for watching.